Well, I want us to talk about Mr. Katiso. Now, who is Mr. Katiso? I want to tell you something. I heard somebody says, Mr. Katiso runs a company called Inkabis for Hire. When Mkhwanazi spoke about a syndicate in Joburg, if you look at Mr. Katiso's position in the group of syndicate, he comes in as a cleaning company. In other words, if there is a person that stands on their way, his job is to clean or eliminate. 2, Kenneth Nene has responded on the allegation that, not even an allegation, he has confirmed that yes, when this man was arrested, he was there, but now he's telling us something different. Mr. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi had said some things about the man, how he was arrested, how he mysteriously got bail, how the magistrate, how they swept things under the carpet and released him. He was not supposed to be released. That is what we are going to be talking about in this episode. We now know that he's involved. I want to give you details as to why he's arrested and what happened, why the man today is arrested. A bit of profile is necessary for us to profile Mr. Katiso, because when you listen to Mkhwanazi speaking about him, he speaks of him as a member of the syndicate operating in Joburg. But it gets worse. He's then, as you listen to General Mkhwanazi, you get this. Listen to this. Who then protects him? Because if you are to operate at the level of Katiso's operation, you need a political backing. But you also need SAPS backing. That is where 2 names, prominent names, in fact 3. Number 1, who protects him from a political point of view? Mr. Senzo Mchunu. 2, who then protect him from the South African Police Service? The name of General Shadrack comes in. 3, when the man was being arrested, they made one phone call to the then head of Hawks, the retired General Sibiya. So you've got 3 people that pops in when you talk about the man. Who's this man? Let's get into details. But I want you to note, as we take it off, that the man, he is directly linked to Matlala as well, and the drug cartel. I want you to note this. But I want you to, let me take you into this journey, because I'll take you on a journey, don't worry. Mkhwanazi explaining how Katiso was arrested, he said this.
On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the 2 of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech. During that arrest, an unusual activities were observed whilst the team were busy with the operation. These activities included a dispatching of members of the South African Police Service under the command of a senior manager at the head office to go and interrupt the operation that was unfolding. Fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed a police operation, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation without disturbance.
Okay, having listened to Mkhwanazi, we now know that today, the 22nd of July 2025, Mr. Katiso and co-accused have made their appearance at this court, Alexandra Magistrate Court, and the case was postponed. And I'm about to break it down for you, but I want to start here. I will end with who who this man is, you will understand, don't worry. So we now know how he was arrested. Because for us to understand what happened today, the 22nd of July 2025, we need to understand what brought us here. And now we are beginning to get that picture, are we? So then let's start here. What happened when he got arrested? We now know that they made one phone call. We didn't know who was protecting him because then members from the national unit came in from the police to disturb the people that were arresting Gatis. So it turns out that the members were sent by Sibiya, who now at SAPC today, the 22nd of July 2025, have confirmed that yes, indeed, he sent people when Katiso was arrested. He confirms that. But he gives justification and said that the reason he sent that it is because he was under the impression that there are people who are impersonating the hawks. So he was there to protect what? The hawks. You get it? That's what he said today on SAPC 1. I want to take you into a journey. But don't worry. I want to stick with him getting arrested. This incident happened when he was arrested then, before he was released on bail. Now, he was released on bail, then re-arrested as he then re-arrested yesterday, the 21st of July 2025. The question is, what happened or what was discovered when he was arrested on the 21st of July 2025? What was discovered is as follows. There is a prominent politician by the name of Kenignene who, upon the arrival of police, they found the man there. And Kenignene was on ENCA today and answered question and said, no, the reason I was there, yes, I went there, but I went there because I accompanied a journalist, an online journalist that was there to do an interview. What a convenience. We are not saying anything, but that's what the man, Mr. Kenignene, said. So, when he was first arrested, the Hawks National, Mr. Sibiya, the then general who is now since retired, sent a team of members of Hawks to Gatis. The second time he gets arrested, guess what? They found a prominent politician by the name of Kenignene coincidentally being there to do an interview. All right, let's leave it there. I want to go back. Remember, we are still going to talk about his profile. We're not done. Just give me time. We're not done. I want to take you back. Why the man was arrested? Well, Mkhwanazi has revealed as to why the man was arrested. Here.
I've tried to outline some sequence of events. I had said the team left for Gauteng to go and assist organized crime in Gauteng. There was a shooting incident that had occurred in April 2024, where Mr. Swart, a QTech employee, was fatally shot while entering the company premises. QTech has been a long-standing service provider to Transnet. Shortly after the incident, 3 suspects, including a warrant officer, a South African Police Service warrant officer, a detective Tau Pule, were arrested in Johannesburg. During the arrest, weapons that were used in this murder, which was an AK-47 and a pistol, along with cell phones, were confiscated.
So, today, when the man appeared, you see what Mkhwanazi said, that the reason the man was arrested was simply because of the death of Mr. Swart. Right? Now, pay attention to that. So today, when he appears in court, the spokesperson of the South African Police Service who goes by the name of Brigadier Aklenda Mate, confirms that, yeah, indeed, it is true that the man was arrested for the death of what? Ahmad Swart. All right? Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. One step at a time. So, the police then says that it is true that this guy was arrested for that, and they confirmed that here.
So, on the day that Ahmad Swart was killed on the 17th of April 2024, within 3 hours, Gauteng organized crime managed to track down 3 suspects. During the arrest, they managed to seize 1 AK-47 as well as 3 pistols. Those firearms have been in custody since. They were immediately seized and taken for ballistics testing. And those 3 hitmen were arrested on that particular day. Fast forward to December 2024, the SAPS Political Killings Task Team is then requested to come and assist Gauteng organized crime detectives with this particular investigation of Ahmad Swart. They get involved, they then seize these firearms, they take them for second opinion for ballistics testing.
Take it easy, one step at a time. Because if look, they say, but look, there's a saying that says when you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So, one bite at a time, take it easy. Let's break it down. Now, go with me, travel with me here. So, he's then arrested for what, Mr. Swart? Mkhwanazi, back in the days, have spoken about how they came to how they came to arrest him, the AK-47 and all the stuff. You remember him talking about that. So he basically, Mkhwanazi had said that when the political task team arrived at Joburg, what they did was to take the firearm that was collected on the crime scene and did a ballistic test. He then said it here.
The KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team arrival, they took these weapons and they went and tested them. So they conducted a ballistic test in order to check whether these firearms were linked with that murder and many other murders perhaps that will have occurred in the country. Maybe let me pause on that one and come back into what had happened prior to us receiving the results from the task team, ballistic test result. On the 30th December 2024, the ballistic expert issued a ballistic report which linked these firearms not only with the murder of Mr. Swart, but these firearms were linked with a number of high-profile cases. And these cases include very high-profile South African artists that were murdered in Gauteng, which occurred dating back as far as 2021. I'm not going to mention them, but we have them on record.
So they do the ballistic test, and it comes back positive, and it's linked to some crimes. And remember what Mkhwanazi said. Mkhwanazi says, when that day shall arrive, you will remember this press conference. Didn't he say that? He said it. Nah? Right, so now we're remembering that press conference. That's why today I had to take time. Go back and listen to the press conference and look at the development and what is currently happening. Understand what is happening in the context of the press briefing that happened or took place on the 6th of July 2025. On and about the time was around 10:48 when Mkhwanazi was doing his press briefing. So things emanate from there. Turns out that even today, the spokesperson of the South African Police Service, Brigadier Aklenda Mate, speaks about the fact that, yeah, those weapons found there, actually, they are linked to a number of murders in Gauteng. She said it here.
They then seize these firearms, they take them for second opinion for ballistics testing. Those firearms come positive on the case of DJ Somebody and the murder of DJ Somebody and his two bodyguards. They were positively linked, and at this stage all those 4 firearms, including the 1 AK-47, is linked to at least 10 high-profile cases that include murder as well as attempted murder. But we will not discuss those cases as yet. So that is where we are in terms of that particular investigation. In the same month, in December, that is when Katiso Molefe was arrested, the 4th suspect. So our team has been working tirelessly on this case. The Political Killings Task Team has been working closely with the Gauteng Organized Crime Investigations Unit. And this is where their investigation has brought us today, where we've got 4 suspects in custody. We now know that the same firearm that killed Swart is the same firearm that killed DJ Somebody and his 2 bodyguards. And we now know that the same suspects that were arrested in the Swart case are also the same suspects that are arrested in DJ Somebody. What is also interesting is that the 2 hitmen in this particular case are also linked to the Tebogo Tewejane attempted murder. So all these 3 cases are linked somehow.
Here's a fun question. How was he released? Right? Now, this question sounds small. It sounds easy. Until you allow me to explain how was he arrested. Because Mkhwanazi, how was he released on bail? Because Mkhwanazi had spoken about his first release on bail that if a man who commits crime like this gets bail, we should be worried about the presiding officers that presided on his bail. Because you don't give such a human being a bail, but he was given bail. Listen. I want you to listen. Think about it this way, and I'll give you a perspective into this one. Remember Mkhwanazi when he spoke about the cartel? It involves who? Prosecutors. And who? Oh, let me check your mind. You remember the judicial asking question to Mkhwanazi because Mkhwanazi had said what? Okay, I didn't hear that. I'm listening. He had said what? Oh, you get it. Okay, let me leave it there. But what we now know is that how he was released, it's questionable. It's not what I said. It is what Mkhwanazi said. Here.
On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso KT Molefe, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar.
So, we see and we understand that there is a problem in how this man was released. Okay? Hold on. We now know that the only justifiable, probably reasonable explanation as to how do you release a human being who is taking people's life at a rapid speed. When investigators alert you and say, this person doesn't deserve to live with human beings, and you decide that no, he deserves. I wouldn't say much. I want to pause it there. Because I don't want to say much, but I want to say this. Who is Katiso Molefe? Who is he connected to here? Listen to this. Let me check your mind here. Somebody had wrote this and said, who is Katiso Molefe? How is he linked to Kat Matlala and Sibiya? Businessman Katiso Molefe was arrested for the murder of an engineer, Swart. Ballistic experts subsequently linked the guns to Swart's murder to other high-profile cases. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu issued a letter to disband the task team and freeze Crime Intelligence Post. Okay? January 2025, Brown Mogotsi informed Mogotsi Matlala via WhatsApp that a meeting was arranged for Sibiya and the minister to find a solution that the task team that had been bothering Matlala was dissolved. Bullet 1, Mogotsi sent Matlala a copy of the disbandment letter. 2, Mogotsi reminded Matlala to work on invoices, to which Matlala responded with a screenshot of an invoice. 3, Mogotsi mentioned a guy named 20 who was a funder with a 3 billion contract with SAPS. Also noted meetings with the DNC and the COOS for the finalization of Khumalo and Mkhwanazi's arrest. Okay? Now, pay attention to this because it tells you the relationships here. You came for the info, aren't you? I thought you came for information to a channel called SA Infotainment Podcast. You must understand the word infotainment. Just analyze the word. Break down the word infotainment. But nevertheless, let's continue. March 2025, Sibiya recalled 121 dockets from the task team acting on Mchunu's instruction, which halted the progress of these cases. 13 May 2025, Matlala's SAPS contract was terminated. Bullet 2, Matlala messaged Mogotsi expressing frustration over the contract cancellation and unfulfilled promises, threatening to go to the media and court. Bullet 3, the investigating directorate against corruption downloaded the content of Matlala's phone from the task team. January 2025, Lieutenant General Dumsan Khumalo, the political task team coordinator, was arrested by the IDEC. Molefe was then granted bail, arrested again on the 21st of July 2025. Now, my interest here is to jack your memory and understand, or trying to understand what is actually happening here. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of context because context is important. Isn't it? I think so. So, I want you to understand that his release on bail is questionable, is, and will remain questionable. They that embark on the process of releasing such a man, not only are they acting on a questionable principle, but should be held accountable and explain the principle that led to the release of this person. But we have a problem now that we can't look at them with an innocent eye, but we need to look at them with suspicions. Why? Because we don't know which group they belong in. Maybe they belong to the group of Katal. I don't know. Listen to Mkhwanazi here.
And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and Correctional Services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng.
Now, having listened to Mkhwanazi here about a syndicate that controls Johannesburg, Kaniknene found at the home of DJ Somebody Matter accused. Patriotic Alliance Deputy President, City of Johannesburg Transport MMC, Kaniknene was found at Sentin resident of Katiso TK Molefe when police executed a raid on Monday morning, News 24 report. Molefe accused of orchestrating the 2022 murder of Amapiano star Opa DJ somebody Sefoka was arrested. At an opulent property, Kunene was reportedly awaiting scheduled meeting with Molefe at the time of the raid. According to sources, Kunene was not detained. He remained on the scene briefly to provide statement and was subsequently released. No charges have been leveled against him. Molefe, who allegedly lead a hired hitman team and the brutal killing of DJ Somebody, was taken into custody and has already appeared in court. That is today. This unexpected interception of a high-ranking political figure and a murder suspect has stirred speculation about the nature of their association. Okay? I'm not going to say anything here, lest I be accused of running a smear campaign, because you know politicians, when they are held accountable, it's never about accountability, it's about somebody is trying to discredit me. Somebody is running a smear campaign. It is never about accountability, even when it was about accountability. But let's continue, right? The arrest is part of a broader police operation linked to high-profile investigation. Authorities continue to urge the public to come forward with information that could lead to lead in the unraveling of the complex case. Right? For today, give me time, because I need to go do a bit of digging. Takes time to compile everything. So that's what you should be digesting for today. That's your bread for today. More is coming. Give me time and allow me to embark on this journey where we unpack, reveal, expose while entertaining.